Discovery and defiance. The gravity anomaly started small, almost imperceptible. Dr. Sarah Blackwood might have missed them entirely if she hadn't been obsessively monitoring her gravity wave detectors for the past 3 years. The fluctuations appeared like ripples in a cosmic pond, but they didn't match any known natural phenomenon. "Look at this pattern," she muttered, adjusting her thick-rimmed glasses while staring at the holographic display floating above her desk at the Global Gravity Research Institute. The waves pulsed with an unmistakable regularity that sent chills down her spine. Natural gravitational waves didn't behave this way. These were artificial. The Institute's massive underground facility hummed with the sound of cooling systems keeping the quantum computers at their near-absolute zero operating temperature. Sarah had fought hard for this position, challenging conventional wisdom about gravity manipulation with theories that most of her colleagues had dismissed as impossible. Now those same theories were the only explanation for what she was seeing. When the first major anomaly hit, it knocked coffee cups off desks across 3 continents. The scientific community couldn't ignore it anymore. Sarah's quantum gravity sensors registered a massive disturbance. Something was manipulating spacetime itself, creating gravitational eddies that rippled through the solar system. The call from the United Earth Defense Council came at 3 a.m. Dr. Blackwood. Admiral Chen's voice was tense, even through the encrypted quantum channel. "Your theories about gravity manipulation. How quickly could they be weaponized?" Sarah's throat went dry. "Admiral, my research was meant for space exploration. Not." "They're coming, Doctor. We've detected a fleet of objects decelerating from near light speed at the edge of our solar system. They're using gravity itself to slow down, exactly like your papers predicted was possible." The holographic display in Sarah's lab shifted to show the approaching objects. Massive ships, each one controlling gravity with a precision that should have been impossible. Her life's work had just been validated, but not by humanity's achievement, by its potential destroyers. "The thing is, Admiral," Sarah said, her mind racing through calculations, "my theories suggest something they might have missed. Their technology, it's too perfect, too controlled. They're treating gravity like a tool, but it's more than that. It's a language." The next week passed in a blur of classified briefings and emergency global conferences. Sarah found herself at the heart of humanity's most ambitious project, not just understanding gravity manipulation, but pushing it in directions even their visitors hadn't considered. While the alien fleet methodically made its way through the outer solar system, humanity raced against time. Sarah's team worked around the clock, testing theories that challenged the very foundations of physics. They weren't just trying to copy the aliens' technology. They were trying to speak gravity's native tongue. The breakthrough came from an unexpected source. One of Sarah's junior researchers, Dr. Marcus Wong, had been studying quantum entanglement's relationship with gravitational fields. "What if," he proposed during one late-night session, "we're not just manipulating gravity, but actually having a conversation with spacetime itself?" The idea was radical, beautiful, and exactly what they needed. While the aliens commanded gravity like a weapon, humanity would learn to dance with it. They began construction on a device that didn't just generate gravitational fields, but created quantum-entangled gravity waves that resonated with the natural frequency of spacetime. As the alien fleet crossed Mars' orbit, Earth launched its first test. The device, nicknamed Newton's Cradle, didn't just create a gravitational field. It created a symphony of interconnected gravitational waves that propagated through space in ways that defied conventional physics. The effect was immediate and stunning. The aliens' perfectly controlled gravity fields began to show signs of instability. Their attempts to compensate only made things worse, as Earth's quantum-entangled gravity waves played havoc with their systems. "They're treating gravity like a hammer," Sarah explained to the Defense Council, "but we're treating it like a dance partner. Their technology is fighting the natural resonance of spacetime. Ours is amplifying it." When the alien fleet finally entered Earth orbit, they found not a helpless planet cowering before their superior technology, but a civilization that had taken their own weapons and transformed them into something entirely new. The first contact message they received wasn't transmitted by radio or light. It was written in the very fabric of space-time, a gravitational symphony that demonstrated humanity's unique understanding of the universe's fundamental forces. The message was clear. Humanity might not have centuries of experience with gravity manipulation, but they had something potentially more valuable: the ability to see patterns that others missed, to transform weapons into tools of communication, and to dance with the very forces that held the universe together. Project Gravity Well. The aliens' response to humanity's gravitational symphony wasn't what anyone expected. Instead of immediate retaliation, their massive ships held position, their gravity drives pulsing with what Sarah's instruments interpreted as confusion. Her quantum gravity sensors detected complex patterns rippling between their vessels. They were communicating, debating, perhaps even arguing. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, Project Gravity Well's primary facility buzzed with activity. The success of Newton's cradle had bought them precious time, but everyone knew it wouldn't last forever. Dr. Marcus Wong's team worked frantically to expand their breakthrough, converting an abandoned submarine base into humanity's first gravity manipulation shipyard. "The theory is solid," Marcus explained, gesturing at the holographic blueprints floating before an international committee of scientists and military leaders. "We can use quantum-entangled gravity fields to create a vessel that doesn't just move through space, it moves with space." The design was unlike anything in human engineering history. Traditional hull designs were useless when dealing with quantum-level gravitational forces. Instead, they developed a lattice of crystalline structures that could channel and amplify gravitational waves, surrounding a central sphere of exotic matter kept in a perpetual state of quantum uncertainty. Construction crews worked around the clock, using automated manufacturing systems guided by AI to craft components that couldn't have existed a month ago. The vessel took shape like a massive geometric sculpture, its crystalline framework catching and refracting light in ways that made it seem almost alive. Sarah split her time between overseeing the project and studying the aliens' continued attempts to counter Newton's cradle. Their responses were becoming more sophisticated, but they still couldn't match the quantum resonance patterns humanity had discovered. It was as if they were trying to fight a current instead of flowing with it. "They're still thinking in terms of control," she explained during one high-level briefing. "Their technology tries to impose order on gravitational fields. Ours works by finding the natural harmonies in space-time and amplifying them. It's the difference between building a dam and riding a wave." The breakthrough in ship design came from an unexpected source. Dr. Yuki Tanaka, a theoretical physicist who had been studying biological systems, noticed something remarkable about the way living cells handled gravitational stress. "Look at this," she said, pulling up microscope footage of cellular structures. "Life doesn't fight gravity. It adapts to it at the quantum level." This observation led to a complete redesign of the ship's internal systems. Instead of rigid control mechanisms, they developed organic-inspired quantum circuits that could adapt and respond to gravitational fluctuations in real time. The ship wouldn't just manipulate gravity, it would breathe with it. As construction neared completion, the alien fleet's behavior changed. Their ships began moving into complex formations, creating overlapping gravitational fields that threatened to overwhelm Newton's cradle. They were adapting, learning, but still approaching the problem with brute force rather than understanding. The first test of humanity's gravity ship, dubbed Quantum Dancer, came sooner than anyone had planned. A sudden surge in the alien fleet's gravitational output threatened to tear Newton's cradle apart. With no time for proper trials, Sarah made the call to launch. Quantum Dancer rose from its underwater berth like a creature from legend, its crystalline structure seeming to phase in and out of reality as its quantum gravity drive engaged. The ship didn't fight against Earth's gravity well. It merged with it, creating a cascading series of gravitational harmonics that transformed the very space around it. The effect on the alien fleet was immediate and dramatic. Their carefully constructed gravitational fields began to unravel, not from any direct attack, but from the way quantum dancers' presence altered the fundamental properties of local spacetime. Their attempts to compensate only made things worse, as each adjustment created new resonances that the human ship's organic systems instantly adapted to and amplified. We're not just showing them a new way to manipulate gravity, Sarah realized as she watched the data streams. We're showing them a new way to understand it. Every attempt they make to counter us just adds another layer to our gravitational symphony. As Quantum Dancer moved through space, its crystalline structure pulsing with quantum-entangled gravity waves, the alien fleet fell into disarray. Their rigid, controlled approach to gravity manipulation couldn't adapt to the fluid, organic patterns humanity had discovered. The very force they had hoped to use to dominate Earth had become their greatest weakness. The stage was set for humanity's first true test of their revolutionary technology. Quantum Dancer wasn't just a ship, it was a declaration that humanity's greatest strength wasn't in dominating natural forces, but in learning to dance with them. Trial by fire. Quantum Dancer's first true battle began with a whisper in spacetime. The alien fleet, having recovered from their initial shock, launched what they clearly thought would be an overwhelming assault. Their ships generated gravitational fields so intense they threatened to tear electrons from their atomic orbits. Sarah Blackwood watched from the ship's quantum core chamber, surrounded by holographic displays showing the fabric of space twisting around them. The crew had trained for weeks in simulations, but nothing could have prepared them for the reality of navigating quantum-entangled gravity fields in actual combat. "They're trying to create a gravity well collapse," Marcus Wong called out from his station, his fingers dancing across quantum-sensitive control surfaces. "Traditional physics says we should be crushed into a singularity." But Quantum Dancer wasn't bound by traditional physics. As the alien gravity weapons reached their peak, the ship's crystalline structure began to pulse with an inner light. Instead of fighting against the incoming gravitational forces, it absorbed them, each crystal lattice transforming the energy into new quantum resonance patterns. "Ready the harmonic response," Sarah ordered, her voice steady despite the reality-bending forces surrounding them. The ship's organic quantum circuits hummed in response, preparing for humanity's first offensive use of their revolutionary technology. What happened next would rewrite physics textbooks for generations to come. Quantum Dancer didn't just redirect the alien fleet's gravitational attack, it transformed it. The ship's quantum-entangled fields turned their weapon into a vast network of interconnected gravitational eddies, each one amplifying and redirecting the aliens' own power against them. "It's working exactly as the simulations predicted," Dr. Yuki Tanaka reported, her eyes wide as she monitored the quantum feedback loops. "Their gravity fields are becoming entangled with our harmonic patterns. They can't disengage without disrupting their own systems." The alien ships tried to break free, their gravity drives pulsing with increasing desperation. But each attempt only drew them deeper into humanity's gravitational dance. It was like watching master martial artists being defeated by their own strength. Their power turned against them with subtle redirections rather than direct opposition. Then something unexpected happened. As Quantum Dancer's quantum fields interacted with the aliens' technology, new patterns began to emerge in the gravitational background noise. Sarah was the first to recognize what they were seeing. "These aren't just combat maneuvers," she breathed, studying the complex interference patterns. "We're seeing their language, their actual communication methods. They don't just use gravity for weapons. It's how they think, how they share information." The revelation changed everything. What had started as a battle was becoming a first contact scenario, unlike anything humanity had prepared for. The alien fleet's gravitational attacks weren't just weapons. They were expressions of confusion, fear, and growing fascination with humanity's radically different approach to manipulating fundamental forces. Marcus made the connection next. Their technology, their entire civilization, it's all based on treating gravity as a tool to be controlled. They've never encountered a species that treats it as a partner in a quantum dance. Quantum Dancer's organic systems began adapting to these new patterns automatically, creating feedback loops that didn't just defend against attacks, but started forming coherent responses. The ship was learning to speak their language, translating human concepts into gravitational symphonies that the aliens could understand. The battle space became a strange hybrid of combat and communication. Each gravitational exchange carried layers of meaning beyond simple attack and defense. The aliens were learning from each encounter, their rigid control systems gradually adapting to incorporate elements of humanity's more fluid approach. They're not just fighting us anymore, Sarah realized. They're studying us. Every response we make teaches them something new about gravity itself. As the engagement continued, the lines between conflict and communication began to blur. The alien fleet's formations shifted, their gravitational patterns becoming more complex, more nuanced. They were attempting to replicate aspects of Quantum Dancer's harmonic approach, with varying degrees of success. The crew watched in amazement as their adversaries began experimenting with quantum resonance patterns of their own. These attempts were crude compared to humanity's organic approach, but they represented something profound. The first steps toward a genuine exchange of ideas across the vast gulf between their civilizations. We need to push this further, Sarah decided, seeing an opportunity in the aliens' attempts to adapt. Prepare for a full harmonic expansion. Let's show them exactly what happens when you stop fighting gravity and start dancing with it. As Quantum Dancer's crystalline structure began to pulse with new patterns, the true implications of humanity's breakthrough became clear. They hadn't just developed a new weapon or defense system. They had discovered a fundamentally new way of interacting with the universe itself. And in doing so, they might have found a path not just to surviving this encounter, but to transforming it into something neither side had imagined possible. The counterstrike, the revelation that gravity could serve as a universal language, changed the nature of the conflict, but it didn't end it. Some factions within the alien fleet remained hostile, their gravity signatures radiating patterns that Sarah's team now recognized as expressions of deep-rooted fear and aggression. They're afraid of how quickly we've adapted, Sarah explained to Admiral Chen during an emergency briefing. Our organic approach to gravity manipulation challenges everything they've built their civilization upon. Some of them see it as an existential threat. Quantum Dancer's success had led to the rapid construction of two sister ships, Harmonic Weaver and Resonance Dancer. Together, they formed humanity's first gravity defense fleet, though their true purpose had evolved far beyond mere military applications. Dr. Yuki Tanaka had made another breakthrough in understanding the aliens' gravity-based communication. Their language isn't just about information exchange, she explained, gesturing at the complex wave patterns dancing across her holographic display. It's about reality manipulation at the quantum level. When they communicate, they literally reshape local spacetime. This insight led to a daring plan. Instead of continuing to defend against alien attacks, humanity would attempt to rewrite the rules of engagement entirely. The three ships would work in concert to create a quantum gravity resonance field so complex and beautiful that it couldn't be interpreted as anything but an invitation to transcend the conflict. The operation began at dawn, Earth time. Quantum Dancer, Harmonic Weaver, and Resonance Dancer moved into a triangular formation, their crystalline structures pulsing in perfect synchronization. The quantum gravity field they generated didn't just affect local space. It created ripples that propagated throughout the solar system. We're not just sending them a message, Marcus observed as he monitored the quantum feedback loops. We're showing them what's possible when you stop trying to control gravity and start working with it as a partner in creation. The alien fleet's response was immediate and dramatic. Their rigid formation began to break apart, individual ships moving in patterns that reflected internal disagreement. Some maintained their aggressive posture, while others began tentatively experimenting with quantum resonance patterns of their own. Then came the moment that would redefine human history. One of the alien vessels, smaller than the others, but more agile, broke formation entirely. Its gravity drive began pulsing in patterns that matched the harmonic frequencies of the human ships, creating a bridge between the two approaches to gravity manipulation. Sarah recognized the significance immediately. "They're not just copying our patterns," she breathed, watching the quantum readings with growing excitement. "They're synthesizing them with their own technology. They're learning to dance." The rogue alien ship's example sparked a chain reaction through the fleet. More vessels began attempting to synchronize with the human ship's quantum field, creating a gravitational chorus that grew more complex and beautiful with each passing moment. But the decisive moment came when one of the largest alien ships, still maintaining its aggressive stance, launched a massive gravitational attack. Instead of trying to counter it directly, the three human ships and their new alien allies let the attack flow through their combined quantum field, transforming its destructive energy into new harmonic patterns that strengthened their growing connection. "This is what sets us apart," Sarah realized as she watched the attack dissolve into the quantum symphony they had created. "Not our technology, but our willingness to embrace the unexpected, to turn conflict into creation." The impact of this demonstration rippled through the alien fleet like a shockwave. Even the most hostile elements couldn't ignore the implications of what they were witnessing. Their attempts to dominate through gravity control were being transformed into something far more powerful through humanity's approach of cooperation and adaptation. As more alien ships joined the harmonic network, the combined gravitational field began generating patterns of unprecedented complexity. The quantum dance was becoming a conversation, a sharing of knowledge and perspective that transcended traditional barriers of language and culture. "We're not just defending Earth anymore," Marcus said, watching the growing harmony between human and alien ships. "We're showing them a new way to understand the universe itself. Every ship that joins our dance learns something that their civilization has missed in all its centuries of gravity manipulation." The counterstrike had succeeded, not through force or domination, but through humanity's unique gift for turning adversity into opportunity. They had taken a force meant for destruction and transformed it into a bridge between civilizations, proving that sometimes the best way to win a fight is to change its very nature. Paradigm shift. The transformation of Earth's orbital space into a quantum gravity symphony marked the beginning of an unprecedented era in human history. The combined resonance field of human and alien ships had grown so complex that it was visible from the ground, creating auroras of impossible colors as quantum-entangled gravity waves warped the very fabric of space-time. Sarah Blackwood stood in Quantum Dancer's observation dome, watching as more alien vessels joined the harmonic network. Each new addition brought unique patterns to the gravitational chorus, contributing to a growing understanding between species that transcended conventional communication. "We're detecting new quantum signatures," Marcus reported, his voice filled with wonder. "Their ships aren't just mimicking our patterns anymore. They're evolving their own technology, finding ways to merge their control-based systems with our organic approach." The breakthrough came from an unexpected direction. As the harmonic network expanded, it began generating gravitational resonances that affected fundamental forces in ways neither humanity nor the aliens had anticipated. Space itself seemed to respond to the combined quantum field, revealing properties that neither civilization had discovered independently. "Look at these readings," Dr. Yuki Tanaka called out, her hands moving through holographic displays of quantum data. "The harmonic field isn't just affecting gravity, it's creating stable quantum tunnels through space-time itself. We're not just communicating through gravity anymore, we're discovering new laws of physics." The implications were staggering. The aliens' original mission, whatever it had been, was forgotten in the face of this discovery. Their most advanced scientists began working alongside human researchers, combining centuries of gravity manipulation experience with humanity's innovative quantum approach. "They've been using gravity as a tool for so long," Sarah explained during a joint human-alien conference, "that they never thought to ask what gravity wanted to be. We showed them that the fundamental forces of the universe aren't meant to be controlled, they're meant to be danced with." The remaining hostile elements in the alien fleet faced a choice: adapt to this new paradigm or become obsolete. The power of the combined harmonic network had grown beyond anything achievable through force alone. Those who had once sought to conquer through gravitational might now found themselves drawn into a revolution in physics that promised to transform both civilizations. Quantum Dancer and its sister ships became the heart of a new kind of space program. Their crystalline structures served as templates for a hybrid technology that combined alien precision with human intuition. The result was a new class of vessels that could navigate the quantum tunnels their harmonic fields created, opening pathways to the stars that neither species had dreamed possible. We didn't just survive first contact, Marcus observed as he watched another alien ship successfully integrate with the harmonic network. We changed its fundamental nature. Instead of a clash of civilizations, we created a confluence of ideas. The quantum gravity symphony reached its crescendo when the combined fleet detected something extraordinary. Their harmonic field had begun attracting attention from other spacefaring civilizations. The quantum tunnels were acting like beacons, drawing curious observers from across the galaxy. Sarah stood before the United Earth Council, now expanded to include representatives from their former adversaries, to present her findings. What we've created here isn't just a new technology or a means of communication. It's a new way of existing in the universe. Every civilization that joins our network brings new patterns, new harmonies to our understanding of reality itself. The aliens who had arrived as potential conquerors now served as humanity's partners in an unprecedented journey of discovery. Their rigid hierarchies and control-based systems gradually gave way to more fluid, adaptive approaches inspired by humanity's quantum dance. The greatest power, Sarah reflected as she watched Earth's first joint human-alien research facility take shape, isn't in controlling the forces of nature, but in learning to move in harmony with them. We taught them to dance with gravity, and in return, they're helping us reach for the stars. As the quantum network continued to grow, attracting more civilizations and generating new discoveries, one truth became clear. Humanity's greatest contribution to the galaxy wasn't technological superiority or military might, but the ability to see patterns others had missed, to find harmony in the chaos, and to transform potential enemies into partners in exploration. The human earthquake that had shaken the galaxy hadn't destroyed or dominated. It had created something entirely new. In learning to dance with the fundamental forces of the universe, humanity had shown that the path to the stars wasn't through conquest, but through cooperation with both alien civilizations and the very fabric of space itself.